Okay, so let's talk about yet another issue, very strategic ahead of the inauguration of the 9th National Assembly. The ruling All Progressives Congress has defended the party's choice of Senator Ahmed Lawan as the next Senate president with a vow to ensure party supremacy and discipline. Addressing the news conference in Abuja, the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Lanre Issa Onilu, insists that the party arrived at its choice of candidate after extensive consultations. He explained that the party will not allow a repeat of what happened in the 8th Assembly and warns members against violating the collective decision of the party. Take a listen to him. Let's talk about some of the issues there as we bring you those sound bites. So the situation and the scenario which played out in the 8th Assembly gives us this template, Mr. Ogunye. And so we have the Northwest, the Southwest, North Central, the Southeast benefiting in this manner. How will it turn out in the 9th Assembly? That is the dilemma the APC is in. It does look like another conundrum for the party to resolve. This is how they're standing in the Senate. This is how they're standing in the House of Reps. The APC has the majority from what we have on the ground. Look at those people who are contesting for this race. This man is not happy. This man is not also happy. This man is getting the nod of the party. And this man, perhaps, a lot of issues around how he's becoming a very big force within the rank and file of the APC. These are some of the candidates running for the Deputy Senate President. Well, and this is the House of Reps candidate. So this is how it's all looking. Let me bring another man into the conversation. He's an APC chieftain and a former lawmaker, Mr. Obun. He joins us from our Abuja studio. Thank you so much, Mr. Obun. Your party says, look, we are sticking with this man, Senator Ahmed Lawan. Some of your party members are saying, no, that will not happen. We need a shadow election. Is the party not walking into yet another landmine which he had in 2015?
On the contrary, I think this is the most proactive thing to have been done by the party this time under a very astute and pragmatic leadership of Adams Oshomole, the national chairman. And I think that is precisely where the opponents of collective decisions and party supremacy are now going to get to bite their tongues. Clearly, there is no logjam, there is clearly no dilemma whatsoever. So when I see the newspaper headlines and most of the arguments in the social media about a dilemma, more than before, unlike 2015, this national leadership of the party has taken the bull by the horn. The president has now seen what happened in 2015, and the party has come together with an answer that you will now have to start looking for questions. So they are begging the question each time people talk about a dilemma. Clearly, the choice of one person, it could have been anybody, but having consulted, there is a caucus, there is a party leadership that produced the people that went into the National Assembly, especially the Senate in this case. And if the party now, having met and having given tickets out, and on whose mandate and upon whose logo and upon whose platform everybody got to the National Assembly, you can no longer play the Lone Ranger. You'll be doing a lone walk in the park.
Let me pause it for a moment. Let me pause. Hold your thought. We need to take a break. Is it lawful, Mr. Ogunye, for the party to decide on who it wants without an election? Is it political for the party to do that? Is it a line the party is walking into? You'll be talking to us after. Because this man and this man, they are not happy. This man is favored for the Senate presidential position. That's going to be next on our agenda tonight on the program. We'll take a break. I'll be back.
If they don't handle it well, I will also contest for the Senate president on the floor of the House. I will join for the race because it will be a shopping matter, and I can shop more than any other person they are putting there. I have the capacity and the capability to shop because the whole thing will be shopping in the floor of the House. And I have the capacity of lobbying. I'm well known east, west, and north. And if the party continues this way, I will run for the Senate president. If justice is not done to say Southeast bring the Deputy Senate president, I will change my mind. The time is still long.
But Adam Oshomole, because it was him that said that just threw it to us that Amelang should be our next president. I don't believe that that is truly the position of Mr. President. Because let me add that before I went into this contest, I consulted with Mr. President and he gave me the go-ahead. I consulted with Tinubu, he gave me the go-ahead. That was even immediately after the primaries, before my election.
We need to ensure that whatever we devote for fighting insecurity in Nigeria, or for working to create and sustain an all-inclusive economy, is not embezzled. There was a time in this country when we had so much resources, and yet we had very little impact. We need to put some more money to support the police. I also believe that we need to do something about the structure. Just don't throw money.
The ruling party has decided on who would be the next Senate president, according to what the democratic principles allow. And that person's name has been announced, and that is Senator Ahmed Lawan. And since that has come out, this party has not come out to contradict itself. So that has been dealt with.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get back to the conversation. Mr. G.T. Ogunye, a lawyer and a friend of the house who helps us in this kind of situation when we need clarity on legal matters. And also from our Abuja studio is Mr. Honorable Cletus Obun, an APC chieftain and a former member of the legislature. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on tonight. So this is the dilemma that perhaps the APC finds itself. This man said, look, he is running for this. He has consulted. Why would they pick this man ahead of him? This man also says he's fit for the office. Well, he can also be bought with Deputy Senate President position. What is this, man? We've not heard from Dajuma Goje in all of this. If that is happening, the zoning arrangement is another kettle of fish entirely. So if any of those men becomes the Senate President, who will become the Deputy Senate President? Is it Senator Slim Falani? Experience. Senator Oluremi Tinubu, connected, experience. Senator Ovie Omo-Agege, don't forget, he won as a Labour Party candidate at the Senate. He's won again in a PDP-dominated state as an APC senator. Can he get it? That's another issue. Let's get back to the conversation now. Mr. Ogunye, let me quickly come to you. The decision of the APC, is it legal? Is it democratic?
Well, it is not about whether it is legal or democratic. I think it's all politics. And I would just say that those who are contending for positions and who want positions should go into their party and play their politics and get support of their party before coming to complain to Nigerians. That's how it should be done. This talk about I want to be a Senate president is for my zone. We are being marginalized. Who are they complaining to? They should go to their party, get the support of a majority of their party. Simple democratic principles. And that's what didn't happen the last time.
We ended up
having a hybrid leadership.
Does the law prescribe, Mr. Ogunye, how is the principal office roles should be apportioned by a party? Did the law say by an election, a shadow election, or how does the law even say? Because some people will feel aggrieved. That's the same way Saraki felt aggrieved the last time.
It's not prescribed in any law. It's by convention, it's by principles, it's by practice. If a party is controlling, why are we even discussing that APC is going to produce the Senate presidency? It is because it's a party that has captured the majority seats in the two chambers. And so, by right, they are expected to produce, because that's how it should be done. But what happened the last time was an anomaly. A lot of people are justifying it by saying that no, the Constitution does not say, its Constitution prescription is that they should elect amongst themselves who will be their leader, and that leader can come from the minority or can come from the majority and all that. That is not how these things are done, because legislative practice is not only by what is written, it's also by convention, by principles, by traditions, by norms. And so if it is expected that the majority party will produce the leaders of this National Assembly, it's also expected that their members will go into their party. If you have some of them insisting that they should conduct a shadow election, they should go into their party to persuade their party to accept that as a mode of determining the emergence of those whom they should field. You know, that's acceptable. Because the last time, don't forget the last time, they did it. If they have problems with it the last time, that shouldn't be the reason why they shouldn't do it now. But just for you to know, and for Nigerians to know, in their parties, how did these legislators even emerge in their parties? Some direct, primary, indirect, consensus. That's what they say their constitution allows. So if that's what their constitution allows, they should go back to their party and sit down and determine how they are going to fill their candidates.
Let's bring in Honorable Cletus Obun here. Honorable Cletus Obun, the permutation of the zoning arrangement is very key, isn't it? So if, for example, Senator Ahmed Lawan is being endorsed as a Senate president, where would you suppose that the Deputy Senate President position comes from?
There are a lot of variables. There are a lot of variables that weigh into zoning. And one of those things that determine zoning is the matter of spread. I was listening to the lawyer when you asked the question about whether it is constitutional. It is in our constitution, I think section 7 sub 4 thereabout, which specifies and clearly states that positions in government and the distribution of wealth should be in such a manner as not to discriminate and to take into consideration the geopolitical zone, the religious and other such factors that will make for equitable distribution of Nigerian resources and positions. It is in our constitution, section 7. Now, beyond that, we also have a situation in which some zones do not have, for example, the South-South, where Senator Omo Agege, the maverick Omo Agege, continuously emerging as a minority from his state in a state dominated by the PDP, consistently emerging every day. If that is the situation, then international parliamentary conventions and tradition require that you must respect the party's decision about how offices are allocated and how to maximize party's strength and keep the party in power and in a manner that will bring less and less acrimony. And therefore, I agree with the lawyer there that it goes back to the party caucuses, it goes back to the party leadership, it goes back to the party itself to take a decision as to how decisions and party positions are allocated and distributed within the geopolitical zones.
Yeah, sorry, our time is up. But in 10 seconds, Honorable Ndudi Elumelu is of PDP. The PDP is planning in the wings. Those are some of the things coming from the 9th Assembly and the caucuses in the National Assembly. With what is happening in your party, the disagreement continues. In 10 seconds, tells us the PDP is a threat for your party. Well, I'm afraid there is not.
Well, if I get you well, he's coming. And the fifth columnist in APC trying to get themselves together and do what they did in 2015 is no longer possible because the overwhelming majority of members of the National Assembly, especially the Senate, is in such a manner that you are not going to get the blacklegs organizing themselves. And this is 67 days program. It's 67 days to the day of that inauguration. And I do think that with the leadership we have of the party will get its ass together, and it will not be difficult, to be impossible for anybody to penetrate
we need to go now.
And get themselves.
Mr. Ogunye, in 10 seconds, your final word.
Let them get their ass together and do justice to themselves in their party, APC. If they fail to do that, they can't restrain the other political party from so aspiring. And they won't have anybody to blame but themselves.
All right. They won't have anybody to blame but themselves. So if you look at the faces here, this is the only man from the PDP. He has his eyes in the speaker role in the 9th National Assembly. That's how we leave it, everyone. Many thanks for watching, everyone. That's our show. I'm Shimon Kimale. Bye-bye.